It's been a long time, I know. Trust me, it's been a long time. But today, we're going to start things off fresh with a 2021 Hybrid Highlander. Or is it 2021 Highlander Hybrid? Either way, this is going to be a quick view. I just kind of want to go over everything. Feast your eyes on the 2021 Toyota Highlander Hybrid. Coming soon to a theater near you. Anyway, this is going to be a quick review of the 2021 Toyota Highlander Hybrid. This is a 3-row SUV that gets roughly 37 miles to the gallon. I've been getting 44 miles to the gallon in my test driving on the highway. I've driven this to work already. There are a few things I do like. Most of it I do like. But there is one big thing I don't like. I have a 2008 Toyota Highlander Hybrid that I just did a crap ton of work to. And after all that, and then seeing this, I gotta say, I don't think it was a step in the right direction, but it's just me. So we're gonna take a little quick dive into this, and I'm gonna show you the good and the bad. Stick around. So this is, I believe, the 4th generation Toyota Highlander Hybrid. And I am mostly impressed with it. I do not like that they got rid of the flip-up glass. That's unfortunate, but I guess everybody's moving away from that. But overall, this is a very nice vehicle. Like I said, EPA rates this at 35 to 36, maybe even 37. I've been averaging 44 on the highway and around town. Quick peek on the inside. We're going to take a little closer look here in a short moment. Yeah, I got all my stuff in it. Jacket. This is just to show you this middle seat. Of course, the middle seat, whether or not you get the bench or the captain's chairs like this, they are all adjustable. This seat is all the way back in its tracks, and this seat is all the way forward in its tracks. This front seat is not all the way back in its tracks, if I'm not mistaken. Let's test that theory out right now. By the way, this has a power, oh no, wow. This has a power passenger seat, which is pretty rare, even in this category. Okay, that's all the way back in its tracks. As you can see, there is no leg room here, and this is all the way forward in its tracks. Get that out of the way. And that is actually segue into the one thing that I don't like about this. It's the seating adjustability, or the foot room. You see, when you have the seat all the way back in its tracks, nobody can sit in the 3rd row. There is my daughter's car seat. Let me see if I can get it. When you have the 2nd row all the way back in its tracks, there is no room in the 3rd row at all for anything, not even a child. Maybe a child without the car seat. As you can see, there's a little bit of a gap there, maybe. But that is still not enough. In my 2008 Highlander Hybrid, you can appropriate space evenly. Somebody can sit, an adult can sit in the rear, but it's just my kids. Somebody can sit in the middle, and then obviously I would be in the driver's seat. It's weird that they changed that, but I see why. The reason why they did that is actually so you can get more cargo room. If you know what the 2008 Highlander Hybrid, or even the 2017 Highlander Hybrid, basically 2008 to 2019, this cargo area pretty much stops like right here. Maybe even half that. So you are missing a lot of cargo capacity, and I do get that, and I appreciate that. Like my boots, they would not be able to fit like this. I'd have to turn them like this. And then that's pretty much, that's actually right there. That is probably how much you have in my 08 Highlander Hybrid. So I mean, that's fine and everything, and I do appreciate the extra little bit of storage, but I don't know. I like having more people space than cargo space, because you can always, and this does have the roof rack bars, the crossbars, you can always add a cargo box if you really just need to have a full house of people in the car and cargo. Just put it in the roof, just get a roof box, you know, and go from there. But I guess the customers spoke, and they said they wanted more interior cargo room, and I guess you got to respect that. So they did a very good job here, and it just sucks that they kind of took away all the foot space. So for that reason alone, I actually don't really like this as much as I thought I would, and that is unfortunate, because I do like this. Locked. But what are you gonna do? You know, as with Toyota's been doing this for years now, all you gotta do to open a door is just have the key in your pocket on your person, and you just slide your door handle and it opens up. So before you get to the back seats, the driver's seat is a very, very nice place to be. You do have two-way lumbar support, which I thought was interesting, not four-way, but that's nitpicking right there. I'm not going to dock it for that. It does have decent leg room. This is as far back as you can go and far down as you can go, excluding the front of the seat, which is adjustable. I like to have this pretty far up to give my thigh support. I do miss, I used to have an older Highlander, newer than the 2008, but older than this. It was like 2012, I believe it was, a limited model, and it actually had an adjustable thigh support area. You push a button and this extends out. Lots of cars do that. It was power. I've seen a manual one in like a Subaru Ascent, but I'm probably just gonna, in my Highlander, my 08 Highlander, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and hop on Amazon or eBay, and they make aftermarket ones that you kind of strap into the back of the seat, and it hangs like this, and you can adjust the straps to raise and lower, you know what I mean? So those are like $30. Not worth buying a whole entire car for, but just so you know, driving this thing is a pleasure. I do love every generation of any Toyota hybrid. The next one just keeps getting better and better, and I like the fact that this, especially in eco mode, as it should, it prioritizes keeping that gas engine off. As soon as you lift your foot off the throttle, give it about like 4 seconds and the engine is off at any speed. And of course, as soon as you introduce any amount of throttle, it comes back on. But I noticed that in my Highlander, 2008 Highlander, which is the first of the second generation, that gas engine stays on so much longer. It's really not necessary, and I wish there was a way to tune that to be better, but anyway, I'm rambling. This does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's responsive enough. The screen is not as big as I think it should be. It looks a little tiny to me, but can't complain. It's still huge. It's still like a 7-8 inch screen. So, you know, it does have physical buttons for the climate controls, which I do like. I seem to remember a review of a car. It might have even been a Toyota product. I can't remember. But I remember them saying that they had AC controls for the front, and you can control the rear AC from the front as well from here, which is nice if you got kids in the third row, like you do, and nobody in the middle row. You want to be able to control the climate from up here, which is so nice. It's digital. You can sync everything up, so if you change it for the driver, it changes it for everybody, or you can have all three, front, driver, passenger, and then the rear as a whole. You can change all three of those. Another automotive journalist had said something about how all the buttons for the AC control were physical buttons, except for the recirculation button for the outside air was in the screen for the radio. I thought that was very strange. It made no sense to me. It might have even been a Highlander. I can't remember. But that was a very strange thing to do. I don't know what that was about. But this is not the case here, at least with this trim package of radio. Everything's here. Recirculation button is here. Overall, I mean, it's pretty nice. This does have a sunroof. So even with the sunroof, still decent headroom. And there's a little pass-through here for your phone's cord, and just storage everywhere you can think of. Center console has a wireless Qi wireless phone charger, and then you remove that, and there's a huge cavernous space underneath. So it's actually well done. There's a ton of storage in here. I really like them. Cup holders that are perfect for this size. You've got different driving modes. Of course, EV mode, which is for like low speed. Like basically, if you just want to pull out of a parking garage without starting up the engine, if the battery and charging and blah 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 is all satisfied, you can do that for a short amount of time. I love electronic parking brakes. It does have a feature where it has the brake hold feature. When you're coming to a stop sign or a stoplight or whatever, you can actually, once the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you can take your foot off the brake and the car will hold. And the next time you put your foot on the accelerator pedal, pro tip, it will take off without you needing to switch. All right, let's check out the back seat. Okay, let's check out this back seat. The door swings almost 90 degrees, not quite, but it's better than nothing, right? Alright, getting into this puppy now. It's decent. My knees do hit a little bit into the back of the driver's seat. Now this is in my driving position. By the way, if it's the first time you're watching this channel, go ahead and like and subscribe. I'm back. So we're going to have a lot more videos to talk about. If you don't know, I'm 6'6", and I try to do this channel based off of my height, because I feel like there aren't enough journalists out there that are above 6 feet anything, and I think it's nice to know that, hey, you know, we're out here and we drive cars too. So I hope this helps. Like and subscribe. Anyway, the back seat, this is adjustable, by the way. You can lean back, but like I said, my daughter's car seat is back there, so it's kind of tight. So you do kind of sit in an upright position, or you can sit in an upright position. The seat belts are not adjustable back here, which is nothing new. But yeah, this is all the way back. This is as far back as you can go. So in this seating position, nothing can sit behind me, because this is literally hitting my daughter's car seat. And that's the part that bothers me so much. In my 2008, I can sit behind myself, even in the third row. So that's just food for thought. I mean, I guess if you want to sit like this, there is, you know, a blank spot right here, so the door won't hit your knee if you kind of straddle the seat. It's not ideal. But I hate to keep nagging, but the previous generation did not do that. So I guess at that point, it's your preference. If you want more people room, and you don't mind, if need be, and you don't mind getting a cargo carrier, if you really just have to have a full house of people and their stuff, go ahead and get a cargo carrier. Honestly, $200-300 and you're there. Or if you don't mind having a little bit less people room and enough room for your stuff, maybe you might have to still get a cargo carrier for this. Then this is your ticket. So, all right, let's check out the third row. To gain access to the third row, you can slide this forward, which doesn't even go forward all the way. And then you can, this does have a seat cover on there. Otherwise, this would be pretty seamless, but you just kind of fold it over like that. And then you can get in the back seat. So as you can see with that middle seat all the way forward, there is plenty of leg room here. So that's not bad. You know, but then nobody can sit here. And if you try to appropriate space, it just makes it so that nobody has any leg room. So, I don't know about this one, guys. I don't know. Overall, I do like it, but it's just one of those things. It's compromise. I personally need more people space than cargo space. So, that's just my 2 cents. Okay, I'm gonna try to sit in my daughter's car seat in the 3rd row of this 2021 Highlander Hybrid. Let's see what we can do here. All right. Oh. All right. There we go. Okay. So, as you can see, I'm sitting I'm sitting just fine in the back of this car here. Now let's try to put the middle row seat back up. Okay, we made it. So this is good, right? No, it's not good. I gotta get out of here before I pass out or something weird. Okay. Under the hood, you will find a 4-cylinder. Not the V6 that's been in here for the past 20 years. Actually, a little bit more, right? No, it's exactly 20 years. Wow, the Toyota Highlander is 20 years old in 2021. But anyway, you will find a 243 horsepower 4-cylinder engine that's mated to the 2 electric motors, one in the rear, and then, of course, the one in the front. I mean, it's a significant reduction in horsepower. It's like 70 horsepower less than the outgoing model, which is 306, which is insane. But that got like 29 miles to the gallon, where this gets 36 miles to the gallon. That increase, it doesn't sound significant at first, but it is very significant if you add it all up. I do like the space under here, though. I will say that. Looks very serviceable. Especially since your spark plugs are just underneath this plastic cover right here. It's crazy. You know what else I don't see? I don't see a coolant reservoir for this guy, the inverter. It's also much smaller. Interesting. Wow. See, that's engine coolant right there. Look at that. Yeah, this engine bay is massive. This definitely looks like it could have supported a V6, but I get it. Less moving parts. And doing spark plugs on those 3.5 or the 3.3 liter V6 is a pain. An absolute pain. You got to take off the intake. You got to take off this cowl here. For spark plugs on this, it looks like all you got to do is just pop this plastic cover off and Bob's your uncle. So, look at the size of that the brake fluid tank. Massive for whatever reason. Anyway, because it's like a secondary. There is another reservoir back here. How interesting is that? Looks like that hasn't changed. Anyway. Nice. Okay. Well, overall, I'm impressed with the new Highlander. This is the current generation. I do appreciate the updates to the gas engine and the updates to the inverter system and the updates to the four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive system. You get a little bit more horsepower out of the rear end of this thing, which was a problem in the previous generation where it was all-wheel drive, but it just didn't really put the power to the ground. So that's an update there. Definitely more powerful there. I do believe you have more torque, at least more low-end torque, from the complete system than the previous generation. It definitely feels a lot more oomph from a dead stop. Driving this on the highway, you don't really have any problems. You do notice the difference if you were just happen to drive the previous generation with the 306 horsepower, and then you drive this generation. You do notice that, obviously. But and for some, it may be the difference maker. But I believe the cheaper maintenance on this one, I feel like would be a winner for me, at least anyway. The seating thing is my only, I just can't get over that. Because this has, as Toyota's been doing for some time now, I believe 2017, they've been offering their safety suite of all that stuff standard on any trim package. So, doesn't matter what you get. I believe it's virtually either all or it is all. All the trim packages get all the Safety Sense stuff, and this is like Safety Sense 2.5 or 2.0 or something like that. And so it gives you, blind spot monitoring. It gives you the backup camera, lane departure. It does it actually does lane keep assist, which is pretty decent in this. I noticed on the highway it would lose the lanes for whatever reason, even though they are perfectly fine. Out here, the highway that I drive on doesn't even have any scrapes or bruises on it, so it's like the painted lines are there and they're very visible. So I'm not exactly sure what that's about, but it is a nice feature to have. If you just happen to not be paying attention, you stay in your lane. How many times have you been in the car and your kid says, "Hey, this happens," or something happens, and you need to look behind you for a tenth of a second? That could be the difference between you running into a car and you not. So I just personally think that's something that's nice to have, especially on a long road trip. It definitely takes the fatigue out of the trip. You don't feel like you've been driving for 7 hours, because technically you haven't. The car has been doing a lot of that. It is not a driver replacement, it is a driver aid. Just want to get that out there. But still, it's not half bad. And if I'm not mistaken, this isn't even the latest version of that. If you don't want them, turn them off. Plain and simple, just turn them off. If they get invasive to you, if you don't like the way it feels, there are some times where there are those little lines that are from when the road was paved, at least if I can, wherever the roads are, and they kind of do them in layers. Sometimes those lines that are in the pavement, the car mistakes those for the painted lines in a way, and it starts to veer off, or it thinks that you're trying to exit a lane when you're not. That can get annoying, but that was very few and very far between, so it's almost not even worth mentioning, but it did happen. So, yeah, overall, I do like this, but that seating, that kills it for me. That's not a problem for you. Hey, and it's not even a tall thing at that point. There just literally is no space. If you have legs, you cannot appropriate enough space in this, where in my 2008 you can. So, just food for thought. That's my quick dive into this vehicle. If it were my money, I would probably not. I personally wouldn't upgrade from a 2008 to this because of that room. I need that leg room. I need to be able to actually carry 7 or 8 people. So, but everything else about this car, I absolutely love it. I like the way it looks. At nighttime, the visibility is absolutely perfect. The backup camera, it's a little fuzzy, which is kind of weird to be a 2021, but whatever. I feel like we should have better quality, but hey, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, that's my final thoughts. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.